Clutter doesn't just sit in your home, it silently seeps into your health. Research shows it can raise stress hormones, steal your sleep, and even put your body at risk of illness. And here's the part we can't ignore. Every week you wait to deal with clutter, it chips away at your peace, your focus, and your energy. That's why I need you to hear this. Your clutter isn't just messy. It's stealing your health. And if you take action this week, you can begin to take it back. For too long, we've been told that clutter is simply a housekeeping issue. Something to feel guilty about when company comes over. But clutter is much more than piles of papers or crowded closets. It is a hidden health hazard. Studies from places like UCLA have found that clutter raises cortisol, the stress hormone that leaves us tense, tired, and vulnerable to illness. And the more cluttered our environment, the harder it is for our minds and bodies to rest. Let me introduce you to Eleanor. She's 71 years old, a retired teacher, and like many women, she thought her clutter was harmless. It's just stuff, she told herself. But over time, Eleanor noticed something unsettling. Her blood pressure was creeping up. Her nights were restless. And her house, the place that once felt like a haven, began to feel heavy. Eleanor's story is not unique. It's the story of so many seniors carrying the weight of things they no longer need. And in this video, I'll show you why clutter is stealing your health, the science behind it, and how you can take simple steps this week to start feeling better, physically, mentally, and emotionally. When we talk about stress, we often imagine arguments, deadlines, or health worries. But few people realize clutter has the same effect on the body. Scientists at UCLA's Center on Everyday Lives of Families studied families living in cluttered homes. The results were striking. Women living in cluttered spaces had consistently higher levels of cortisol throughout the day. That means their bodies were living in a state of constant stress, even at home. Why does this matter? Because cortisol isn't just a stress hormone. In small bursts, it helps us survive. But when cortisol stays high, week after week, it weakens the immune system, raises blood pressure, and disrupts sleep. Over time, it can contribute to serious conditions like heart disease, diabetes, and memory decline. Eleanor, the retired teacher I mentioned earlier, discovered this firsthand. She noticed she felt restless and irritable, even on quiet days. Her doctor told her stress was likely part of the problem. But Eleanor couldn't pinpoint the source, until she walked into her living room one morning and realized her clutter was shouting at her. The piles of papers, the stacks of magazines, the knick-knacks she no longer loved, they all demanded attention, even when she tried to ignore them. She later told me, "It felt like my house was keeping me on edge, even when nothing was wrong." And here's the truth. Our brains process every object in our environment, whether we're paying attention or not. That's why a cluttered room feels heavy, and a clear one feels calming. The first health risk of clutter, then, is invisible but powerful. It keeps your body trapped in stress mode. And if you've been feeling tense, tired, or worn out lately, your clutter may be a bigger culprit than you think. We all know sleep is vital, especially as we age. It's the time when the body repairs, the brain organizes memories, and our hearts get much-needed rest. But clutter has a surprising way of interfering with this process. Studies have shown that people who sleep in cluttered bedrooms report more insomnia, more nighttime restlessness, and poorer overall sleep quality. Why? Because clutter sends subtle signals to the brain that there are unfinished tasks nearby. Even if you don't consciously notice it, your brain registers those piles, those clothes on the chair, those papers on the dresser. It keeps your mind alert, instead of allowing it to fully wind down. Eleanor, the retired teacher, noticed this as well. She said her nights were filled with tossing and turning. Her doctor once suggested sleep aids, but she later realized the problem wasn't medical, it was environmental. After she cleared her nightstand, folded away unused clothes, and kept only a lamp, her glasses, and a favorite book by her bed, her sleep changed dramatically. And here's what science confirms. Clutter in your bedroom raises mental stimulation at the exact moment you need calm. It can also worsen allergies and respiratory issues, since clutter collects dust, mold, and sometimes even pests. Think of it this way. Your bedroom should be the calmest, cleanest place in your home. If you want to protect your heart, your memory, and your energy levels, Reducing clutter where you sleep may be one of the most powerful steps you can take. The second health risk of clutter, then, is that it robs you of deep rest. And without restorative sleep, every other part of your health suffers. One of the greatest risks seniors face isn't disease, it's falls. In fact, the CDC reports that 1 out of 4 adults over 65 falls each year, and clutter is often the hidden culprit. Think about the little things we often overlook: shoes left by the door, magazines stacked on the floor, a bag resting in the hallway. Each of these is a tripping hazard, especially in the middle of the night or when vision isn't as sharp as it used to be. Eleanor, the retired teacher we've been following, confessed that she once tripped over a laundry basket left in her hallway. She wasn't badly hurt, but it shook her deeply. "It made me realize," she told me, "that my own things were becoming a danger to me." And she's not alone. Researchers have found that cluttered homes directly increase the likelihood of falls and accidents. Broken furniture we've held onto just in case, piles on staircases, and overstuffed closets that spill onto the floor can all create risks. What's even scarier is that a single fall can change everything, leading to hospital stays, reduced independence, or permanent loss of confidence. But the hopeful news is this: clearing clutter from pathways, staircases, and frequently used areas is one of the simplest ways to lower your risk. So the third health risk of clutter is clear: it threatens your physical safety in ways that can't be ignored. And with one small step at a time, you can make your home a place that protects you instead of putting you in harm's way. Here's something fascinating, and a little unsettling. Science shows that clutter doesn't just take up space in your home, it actually changes your body chemistry. Researchers at UCLA's Center on Everyday Lives of Families studied households and discovered that women living in cluttered homes had consistently higher levels of cortisol, the stress hormone. And the more clutter in the home, the higher the stress response. Cortisol isn't just about feeling frazzled. Long-term, elevated cortisol has been linked to weight gain, sleep disturbances, high blood pressure, and even memory decline. Eleanor, the retired teacher we've been following, once described walking into her cluttered kitchen like stepping into a storm I couldn't escape. She didn't realize it at the time, but what she was feeling wasn't just emotional, it was physical. Her body was literally reacting to the chaos around her. Think about it, every object in sight is a demand. Papers you haven't sorted, dishes left undone, clothes stacked on the chair. Your brain interprets each as unfinished work, and your body responds as if you're under pressure, all day long. But here's the good news. Just as clutter raises cortisol, clearing it reduces it. Eleanor noticed that when her counters were clean, she felt calmer and even slept better. Her body was no longer in a constant state of stress, and the difference was night and day. So the fourth health risk of clutter is one we often overlook. It doesn't just affect how your home looks. It affects your hormones, your sleep, and your long-term health. Let's talk about something that affects every one of us: sleep. We know that good sleep is the foundation of health, yet clutter has a sneaky way of robbing us of rest. Studies published in Sleep Health Journal found that people who sleep in messy rooms are more likely to experience insomnia, restless nights, and even daytime fatigue. Why? Because a cluttered environment signals to the brain that there's still work to be done. Instead of shutting down, your mind stays on alert, scanning the piles, the clothes, the papers. Eleanor used to keep stacks of magazines, unfinished knitting projects, and baskets of laundry near her bed. She thought, "It's fine, I'll get to it tomorrow." But her body felt different. She would toss and turn, her mind racing about everything unfinished around her. The National Sleep Foundation confirms this. When your bedroom is clutter-free, your chances of falling asleep faster and staying asleep longer improve dramatically. It's not just about aesthetics, it's biology. Your brain associates clutter with stress and unfinished tasks. Clear the clutter, and your brain is finally able to switch into rest mode. After Eleanor cleared her nightstand to hold only a lamp, her glasses, and one favorite book, she said her evenings transformed. She could relax, breathe deeply, and drift off to sleep without the weight of should-dos staring at her from across the room. So the fifth health risk of clutter is this: it quietly steals your sleep. And without quality sleep, every other part of your health, your energy, your mood, even your memory, begins to suffer. Now let's face a risk that is both serious and often overlooked: safety. For seniors especially, clutter can be more than an inconvenience, it can become a real hazard. Research from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, shows that falls are one of the leading causes of injury among older adults. And do you know what increases the risk dramatically? Tripping hazards like loose rugs, piles of books, or boxes left in hallways. Eleanor once shared with me that she tripped over a basket of laundry she had placed near the doorway. Thankfully, she only suffered a few bruises, but the scare was enough to open her eyes. She realized her home, the very place meant to protect her, had quietly become a danger zone. Broken furniture, wobbly chairs, and cluttered walkways don't just make life harder, they threaten independence. A single fall can lead to hospital visits, long recoveries, and in some cases, permanent lifestyle changes. Doctors strongly recommend creating clear, open spaces in the home. Pathways should be free of obstacles, bathrooms equipped with sturdy supports, and high-traffic areas kept clutter-free. These small adjustments not only reduce the risk of falls but also bring peace of mind. Eleanor described it beautifully. When I cleared my hallways and pathways, I didn't just feel safer, I felt free again. I could walk without worry. And that's the truth. Safety and freedom go hand in hand. By decluttering, you're not just tidying up, you're protecting your health and your independence. Decluttering isn't only about what we remove from our homes, it's about what we release from our hearts. For many older women, every object carries a memory. A gift from a loved one, a letter from years past, or clothing that once represented a special time in life. Letting go can feel like letting go of the memory itself. But here's the truth, our memories aren't stored in objects, they're stored in us. Studies in psychology show that emotional well-being improves when we learn to keep only the items that bring genuine comfort, rather than surrounding ourselves with everything we've ever owned. Eleanor discovered this when she finally faced her closet. Inside were boxes filled with her late husband's belongings, clothes she hadn't touched in years. For a long time, she couldn't bear the thought of parting with them. But the weight of those untouched items made her bedroom feel more like a storage space than a sanctuary. With her daughter's support, Eleanor chose to keep just a few meaningful pieces, his favorite sweater, a watch, and a photo album. She donated the rest. Later she told me, "I thought I'd feel empty without them. Instead, I felt lighter. The sweater I kept reminds me of his love more than the piles ever did." This is the emotional relief of decluttering. It's not about erasing the past. It's about honoring it in a way that brings peace instead of heaviness. Each item you let go of makes room for clarity, calm, and even new joy. Decluttering, then, is as much a gift to the heart as it is to the home. It helps us breathe again, think clearly, and live in the present with dignity. When doctors talk about decluttering, they don't just mean tidying up. They see it as a proven strategy for reducing stress, lowering accident risks, and even improving mental clarity. That's why many recommend a gradual, step-by-step approach instead of an overwhelming all-at-once effort. The first step is focus on one small area at a time. Research shows that when people see visible progress, like a clear nightstand or an organized kitchen counter, the brain feels rewarded. That sense of accomplishment motivates us to continue. The second step is remove safety hazards first. Doctors emphasize clearing walkways, getting rid of broken items, and safely disposing of expired medications. These changes directly protect seniors from falls, accidents, and health risks. The third step is create homes for essentials. Glasses, keys, medications, and mail should each have one designated spot. Studies confirm that predictable organization reduces forgetfulness and strengthens confidence in daily routines. And finally, the fourth step is pace yourself. Doctors stress that decluttering isn't a race, it's a lifestyle change. Even 15 minutes a day, done consistently, leads to lasting transformation. Eleanor followed this exact framework. She began with her nightstand, then moved on to her hallways, and later tackled her closets. Over time, she told me, it stopped feeling like cleaning, it started feeling like healing. Decluttering in this way isn't just practical, it's doctor-approved. It's safe, sustainable, and deeply empowering for seniors who want to protect both their homes and their health. One of the biggest mistakes seniors make is believing they'll get to it later. But here's what psychologists and doctors want you to know. The longer clutter stays, the heavier it feels, physically, emotionally, and mentally. Every year, items multiply. Papers pile up. Clothes sit untouched. Souvenirs gather dust. And with each passing season, it becomes harder to decide what stays and what goes. That's because clutter doesn't just add weight to your shelves, it adds weight to your decision-making. This is what experts call decision fatigue. The more choices you face, the more drained your brain becomes. When you delay decluttering, you're not just letting clutter grow, you're letting the emotional burden grow, too. Eleanor confessed that for years she told herself she'd get around to it next spring. But every spring became another layer of guilt, another pile that seemed too overwhelming to touch. Only when she finally started did she realize how much lighter she could feel. And there's another danger in waiting. Safety. Clutter in walkways becomes a full risk. Expired medications stay hidden in cabinets. Overstuffed closets make it harder to find what you really need. These aren't just inconveniences, they're hazards that can quietly threaten independence. Doctors warn that waiting makes decluttering harder not because your home changes, but because your energy does. As we age, tackling large projects becomes more tiring. Starting now, with small consistent steps, is the only way to ensure decluttering helps instead of overwhelms. So if you've been waiting for the right time, hear this, the right time is now. Not because your home has to be perfect, but because your peace, your health, and your safety can't wait. Real stories of seniors who transformed their health by decluttering. Sometimes the best proof doesn't come from studies or experts. It comes from the lives of people just like us. Take Eleanor. At 72, she felt her memory slipping. She misplaced her keys daily, forgot appointments, and often blamed it on just getting older. But once she cleared her kitchen counters and created a simple spot for her essentials, something changed. She wasn't forgetting, she was finding clarity in the calm. Her daughter told me, "It's like I got my mom back." Or consider Robert, a 75-year-old widower. His dining table had become a mountain of newspapers and unopened mail. Every day, the clutter whispered, "You're behind. You're failing." When he finally sorted those papers into just 2 baskets, to do and to keep, his stress levels dropped. He told me, "I didn't realize how heavy those piles were until they were gone." And then there's Linda, who held on to her late husband's belongings for nearly a decade. Her bedroom closet was stuffed with clothes she could never wear, but couldn't bear to release. She admitted, "I thought letting go would erase him." But when she chose one special sweater to keep and donated the rest, she said, "For the first time in years, I can breathe in my own room again." These stories remind us that clutter isn't just about objects. It's about how those objects affect our hearts, our health, and our hope. Each bag donated, each drawer cleared, each surface reclaimed, it isn't about loss. It's about freedom. And the best part? None of these seniors tackled it all at once. They started small, they stayed consistent, and they discovered that every step forward gave them more energy, more peace, and more control over their lives.